Yo, it's your boy James, and welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it's not going to happen this video, but that's all right. We'll be all right. Joining me today is my girl, my bestie in the whole wide world, Mrs. Best, aka my girl, Amina.
Good morning or afternoon, wherever you at.
Yeah, but it's afternoon for me. It ain't morning. I'm over on the East Coast. She over on the West Coast. So, that's how we do these things here. Y'all, if you read the caption, this is Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 8 review and recap. Y'all, this episode was a lot. So, I said I was going to give Akeisha the benefit of the doubt. That is now gone. We reading the fuck out of her this video because she made absolutely no sense this whole episode.
She never makes sense to me as a
She
new Belle.
doesn't. It's just like I said it in the last two videos. I said I'm giving her grace because I don't like her. She's now revamped the reason why I don't like her. So to start off this video, we ended off where we left off on the last episode. Now it's bringing it back to this episode with Tamber throwing this tantrum, which I understood why she threw the tantrum. I understand why she was upset. I'm not discrediting her and her experience with her ex-fiance. I'm not saying that at all because sometimes men do be on bullshit. We know this, but it's hard for me to take her serious. It just is, based on her dramatics and animated, preservated personality that she likes to have on. I just cannot take her serious. So when I'm trying to have a serious moment, looking at her get upset and looking at the bullshit that Maria has caused, it's like, yeah, I get why you upset, but I'm like, why do we keep talking about this? So in the midst of her getting upset, Letitia said, no, this isn't right. And I looked at Letitia and I said, oh, so now this isn't right. Now this isn't right. And you're saying that you didn't think Marie was going to bring this up to Tamber? I looked at Letitia and I just said, see, this is why I can't get with you now, Letitia.
Letitia's
You
full of
didn't.
shit. I peeped that. She also said when she saw Tamber, so Letitia, I'll say Letitia obviously I think has a good heart and cares. She doesn't seem like she wants to be an asshole, but all in the same breath, if you listen to what she was saying when she was trying to console Tamber back there, I'm so sorry I went with Marie to meet with her. I'm so sorry I went with Marie to meet with that man. So how is it that you went with Marie to meet with dude, but you didn't know that Marie's messy ass, who
Would have
doesn't,
brought that up.
come on now, bro. It's given she paying my rent and I couldn't say nothing, but now I see that I fucked up. And if I want a chance of paying my rent alone, I better fix my reputation because the world is watching. That's what I got from Letitia. But look at his face.
Hey, but because I don't look, we don't know. It's just so weird to me, Letitia, that you realistically went with Marie to meet up with this man, knowing that Marie was trying to just collect details and information because she doesn't have anything else to other than Tamber lie. Which what we said last video, we know Tamber lies. Tamber is full of shit. Let's just call a spade a spade. Tamber is full of shit.
I think
A
anyone
lot of
who
the times.
Tambra knows that she is not the most forthright person.
Absolutely. But that doesn't then give you a right to dig up her past, bring up this situation, and heal it as if you was in the relationship with her, Marie. That does not work. Like that is crazy to me how you really felt like you just want to dig up dirt on Tamra, so that's why you did it. Like that's crazy to me.
It's petty.
It's like that's insane. Like you really like it because and I think Marie did it because she mad because everybody dug up her past. And I think that's why she's mad. So she figures, hell, let me throw it on Tambra because she got a lot to hide. And it's like, a
Can't
pass is
fight
a
fire
pass.
with fire. You just cannot.
No, a pass is a pass for a reason and it's to be left there. So it's like, I don't understand, Marie. Like, that was crazy to me. So moving on. We then move on to Gucci and Latrice. And this really ridiculous, crazy, unfulfilled, dramatic ass storyline that makes no fucking sense at the end of the day. Makes no damn sense. So Gucci in this moment lies and say that it's not about her selling the building. It's about Latrice reaching out to her and say, hey, I'm gonna go to with a different realtor. I'm exhausted with Gucci at this point. I have nothing else for her. I have
Listen,
nothing
so
else to see her.
Gucci, so Gucci, I feel like she's gonna stay on the show because aside from the Belle, she has her little fake ass storyline with Selena and JJ. But I do feel like so Gucci as a whole is as much as just as much of a liar as Tambra, in my opinion, watching. Like as someone coming in to the show, watching, all I see, so Gucci doing every episode, even production calls it out with edits. Lies, lies, lies. And she never backs anything up with no receipts, no proof. She doesn't have anybody that can back her up. She's aligned herself with these bitter, miserable women who can't keep a man, can't keep David. Like, listen, so Gucci is just as much of a liar. And it bothers me that the group as a whole never holds So Gucci accountable for the awful things that she does. First of all, you said yourself, So Gucci, later in the episode, we find out that you had also attempted to do business with another person. I believe it was Aikisha, and
Yep.
you stated that Aikisha also did not purchase a home from you. And there was no issue there, trying to make yourself look innocent. But what you fail to realize is now we see that's two for two. You can't seem to sell shit. You can't seem to produce what they're looking for. And it's just Mississippi. So it ain't like you coming up and producing these crazy properties we got in California or Florida where there's competitive housing markets. No, you're in Mississippi. Nobody wants to go there. Let's just call it. I'm keeping it 100. Don't nobody want to go to Mississippi. It's hot as hell. It's humid. It's still racist. The water's bad and they get hurricanes. Nobody wants to go there. They also have a fucked up economy. So you are in real estate. Two people have been unable to buy a property with you. You're saying, oh, but Aikisha called me. But at some point, it sounds like Latrice did speak to you and did try to let you know things. But if you're not returning her text messages, her phone calls, you're trying to be so much like Marie, like, I'm just not going to entertain this. I'm not responding. No, I'm just tired of So Gucci. That's really all I have, probably.
And you said a mouthful, so we can actually skip that scene where we did see Akeisha's house, and we did see that, or she did explain that Gucci was also supposed to sell property, but she ended up going to another realtor. So Akeisha, why did you go with another realtor?
Thank you.
That's your girl, right? That's your
Right.
girl. Why was she taking too long, or could she produce a home residential property for you? I need to know this because it doesn't make any sense to me. That's your girl, right? You know, you was just getting on the Tracy in the confessional when y'all was at the little break a plate event. Yeah, you was just there saying, "Oh well, I think that's shady of her to not, just give Gucci the, grace of calling her, let her know that she's not going to do that." I think Latrice is wrong. So, are you wrong for going with another realtor? I want to know. And see, and that's the problem with Aikisha. And that's what I keep telling people. Like, I'm glad nobody rips me in my comments yet because I'm telling y'all, Aikisha is not to be trusted. It's something about her, and I tell people all the time that watch this show with me. I'm like, look, she may be all in her deep accent and all sweet and everything, but that lady evil. I promise you, that lady is evil. And
She
this
don't
is
give
a
off sweet. She definitely gives off wolf in sheep's clothing. She's not. I don't even know why Keisha's on the damn show. It seems like they just have her on there because she owns property somewhere that's important.
Yeah, see, to me, and this is where we blame Tambra because Tambra knew that she owned that shit on the Ferris Street, and see, and what she was trying to bring somebody on, and Akeisha said, "Oh, they filming a show in my hometown," because they said that Akeisha tried to get on the first season, and she couldn't because it was way too many people. So now they bring her on the second season, and she's in here just not being entertaining. We only see her in her house or at a group event. We don't see nothing else. Where the fuck is Willie? Why is he never here? Like, I'm sorry. I just throw her away. I don't want to see her no more
Yeah,
calls. I
because
don't.
that's the other thing for me, like that I'm looking at a little strange. I think on most shows where the husband, or even not the husband, someone who travels a lot is often, out the way. Like it's weird that you just choose to stay home so often because I know during the summer, spring break, there's times your kids could go with you. You could homeschool them. I know they have help too. So I just don't understand why they choose to spend so much time apart. And then I'm tired of her little awkward confessionals where I miss Willie. I need some alone time with my. It's like sex isn't gonna make you interesting, Akeisha. Um, I'm just kind of over her. I really am over Aikisha. I just don't understand why she's on the show. One thing I did want to bring up randomly related to Soguchi though is Marie actually said something to Soguchi and was one of the only people to hold Soguchi accountable for the shit that she's done with the real estate. When she said, no, business 101 is you should have had her ass sign a non-compete clause to protect the friendship. Because then we wouldn't
Exactly. And
have
so
been
for those who
allowed to
know,
talk to other people.
yes, for those who don't know what that is an agreement between a client and a realtor, kind of like a lawyer and a client. Is where you have to keep the purchase confidential between you two, and you cannot go outside of the confines of that realtor. It
Mhm.
does exist. There was a lawsuit with that though somewhere. I remember reading that, so that's why it's not as popular anymore. That's why a lot of realtors don't want to do that because. But at the same time that I'm looking at Marie, I was happy that she just didn't jump on the bandwagon with Gucci and them and was like, "Well, that's your own fault for, you know, not
And it
getting her to
also
sign that."
proves why Gucci's not a real realtor because, come on now.
I think what it was is that my thing is I think Gucci was going to use this as a storyline. I think this is why she's so mad. Is that she was going to use Latrice finding this property as a storyline to build up this real estate, career of hers because number one real estate agent in Mississippi is not going to trip off of somebody else buying another property from another realtor. They're like, "Oh well, cut my losses. I got millions of other clients. I don't need yours." But clearly, this was something you needed. Otherwise, you wouldn't be that mad about it. So I'm not even going to even go there with her. So I'm not yet. Let's move on because I ain't got time to get through this stuff. Because Akeisha gonna make me mad, and Gucci gonna make me mad if I keep talking about them. We got to get to them at the end anyway. So I'm gonna bring up Tambra and not Letitia, Laura, Latrice meeting up for lunch and talking about the event because for people who do not remember, Tambra left after her altercation with Marie and didn't stay for the back and forth between Gucci and Latrice. So Latrice was filling her in, and they kind of felt like they were on the outside of the whole collective. And to me, see, this is my thing. Tamra, I feel like was already on the outs because she doesn't fit in with the girls. So it's always weird seeing her in scenes with them because I feel like she's just always there. That's how I felt about her the first season. I felt like she wasn't really friends with anybody. So what's their purpose of her being there? She was only in 4 episodes the first season. So what the hell was the point of her being here? I still feel that exact same way 2 more seasons in, and she's a full time cast member now. I feel like she's just there. So I kind of felt like, yeah, she definitely is on the outside, but she's always has been. Latrice, on the other hand, I felt like was the queen bee, and then let Letitia came in to take that title from her. So I kind of felt like that was a valid point for her to make, but it wasn't valid for Tampa. I just don't feel that way.
I
How
think
did you feel about that
everybody,
dinner scene?
um, yeah, Tambra I didn't really give a damn about. Obviously, Latrice is at a point where I think she's tired of the ladies and sees that this is somebody who's not getting along with them. So it's like to stay on the show, she has to interact with somebody. Tambra's the easiest person. I definitely agree with everything you said. Um, honestly, I would. As for Latrice, I just want for her to. I feel like she doesn't say the right things at the right times when it
I
comes
agree.
to this group. And
Mhm.
I think if she did that, it could go a lot further. And there could be even like the audience watching, she'd probably be a little more personable. But when you're just choosing not to respond to people at all and then going and talking mess with whoever's available to listen to you, it's a little weird, but I don't really expect Latrice to make the best decisions considering who she married. So
And I agree with that. I agree with that 110% because for me, I'm looking at her like you need another ally. You need Dr. Antoinette. Where are you? Because Dr. Antoinette, when they were together, they were the show.
Mm-hmm.
And them
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth with Marie and everything, that was the show. Y'all can keep the little white lady. I don't want to see her no more. But them two, Dr. Antoinette, please come back to Belle Collective. We understand you building up this dental business, but be like Dr. Heavenly. Make that shit, you know,
Dr.
pop on TV.
Heavenly, Dr. Heavenly was established prior to coming on Married to Medicine in the dental realm and all of that, as well
Right.
as Daddy, as she calls him, Damon. They were both established and actually are the people who helped a lot of the cast husbands get internships at ERs and things like that. Dr. Antoinette was just getting started. And I think as an African American person, just getting started, especially in fields of medicine, psychology, just behavioral social sciences, things like that. I think that shows like this is good that she's not there. I was actually happy to see that she did not come back after season one. I just feel like these ladies are on here and, we some bosses, we this, we that. Yes, you've done something, and I won't take away from their success, but real bosses aren't on shows like this. Real bosses aren't on reality TV. And if they
Hmm.
are, they never last long. So that I think Dr. Antoinette is in her right. The rest of these heifers, look, they got dollars, but they ain't got no common sense. None of their dollars is going towards
Yeah.
common sense or tact. So Dr.
Yeah.
Antoinette.
So speaking of common sense,
Oh,
Marie. So Marie has her mama and her daughter in this
child.
scene.
Mm-mm.
And I felt two different ways about this. I felt like, yeah, not the doctor, the daughter definitely needs to see this dynamic because you need to be aware of where you come from 100%.
Mhm.
At the same time, I feel like that daughter was too young to be exposed to what that came out that mama's mouth.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to repeat what that mama said, but I'm just going to let you know she was giving me Frankie Keisha Cole mama, Lord rest her soul.
Mhm.
I was like, it
I
just
met
broke my
her
heart.
before. Did I tell
You
you
met
that?
Frank? You
I was
met
on,
Frankie
I
before?
was on the same flight as her out of Oakland Airport. This was back like years ago. I was
Hmm.
going to LA. I was on the same flight as her, and she was a cold piece of work. I have a picture somewhere of it. She was super nice, super nice, just
She
random.
looks super sweet. Yeah.
She was super
Oh,
sweet.
well, yeah. Shout out to Frankie.
Definitely
We
hot
do. We
though. She's crazy, but she was sweet.
oh, but Marie's mom, you know, it was really. I felt two ways about her. I feel like Marie's success has nothing to do with you at all.
Mhm.
It has, but in hindsight, has everything to do with you. The fact
Mhm.
that her career path was to help people because she, you know, could never help you is why she opened up all these clinics.
Mhm.
So I didn't like the mama taking credit for that because although it is 100% right, it is 100% wrong because you had nothing to do with that lady's upbringing.
Mhm.
And Marie is angry at life. And
Yeah.
then she treats the world the way the world treats her. You could clearly see that. So for her mama to sit up on that soapbox, it was like, I want Marie to stop doing this. I want you to stop feeling the need to help your family in a way to where you're enabling the bad behavior because it's not helping. It's enabling the bad behavior because they don't. That mama didn't see a damn thing wrong with her being on drugs, and
Um,
that's sad to me.
I think the mom does see something wrong with being on drugs. I think she just like most old black folk who ain't gonna admit it. Because
No, and that's what I mean. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like I know she thinks it's wrong, but the problem is that you can't then turn this into, oh well, you turned out okay, or you did all right, you didn't follow in my footsteps, you didn't, the old soapbox things that the parents say when they never raised a child. Oh, well, I'm glad you went into success and you went into this and you went into that. And it was like, I don't want to hear that from you. I don't want to hear that from parents who think that a child's success is geared toward them seeing the wrong thing, so they went the other direction. I don't want to hear that from parents because to me that's a scapegoat. That's a cop out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way for you to take the ease off of you not being there. And that's what I didn't like. I felt like she needed you more than you knew she needed you
Mm-hmm.
because of the way she treats women and the way she moves in life shows the absence that she is broken inside. And
What I
only
will
you had
say,
that veil.
I agree with all of that. And I also, the only time I can stand Marie and those finger waves is when she is at home with her kids, um, with family. I guess that's the only time that, in my opinion, Marie is personable. Uh,
Because the family is so dysfunctional and broken, I don't even like seeing her in that dynamic. I
mhm.
like seeing Marie. Honestly, the only times I've enjoyed seeing Marie is literally when she was on that date with that man. That was the only
that
time I enjoyed.
that to me, see, it's enjoyable and entertaining, maybe, but that was so fake. We knew that
It
wasn't going
was
to be
fake,
there.
but at the same time,
Yeah.
it was the only time that I enjoyed seeing her because it actually took her out of the elements that she's
Mhm.
used to being and never used to seeing her. And I think that's where, if we want to keep Marie on this show, I need to see her in elements that she's not always in.
What I will say about Marie is I was disgusted with her for being a mental health professional, having her fucking kids sitting right there while her and her mom discuss her getting off of dope. My grandmother on my mother's side, I never met her in times that I can remember as an adult. I remember them trying to take us to see her. She was staying in the village up in the town, and she has been on drugs my whole life, my mother's whole life, my aunts and uncles' whole life. She has been on heavy drugs. Um, they talked to me about that. They did, but they did not put me in rooms with her when they were able to see her. Even when I was like, I want to meet her, I want to meet her, they would not put us in rooms with her when they have conversation. Any parent that has a conversation like that with their child around that's at Zuri's age is irresponsible. Just because you can lay on your back and open your legs and get that baby pushed out, do not mean that you should have one. Just because you have children does not make you a mother. Just because you have children does not give you common sense. Um, Marie definitely has a lot of love to give, but she definitely lacks common sense when it comes to raising her kids, which we can see from her son. He graduated college, but that killed him. Most people who have three kids in the same year aren't going to be able to graduate college. They're going to be taking care of their kids. They'll graduate eventually, but come on, the way your irresponsible ass child was, he's handsome too. And he knows it based on them three kids. But come on now. I
Um,
just feel like Marie's choices when it comes to even sharing that with the world, uh even if my mama, and I don't have a relationship with my mother either, but I wouldn't just put her on TV when I know
no,
she's at her worst and then talk to her like I'm
but
expecting
she did
change
this
from her.
last
And
season too.
it's
She did,
disgusting.
yeah, she did this last season too, which is why I can't get with Marie because I felt like you trying to expose your mama and embarrass her because you think that that will ease up this guilt that you have inside of not having a relationship with her that's tangible. Like that's,
Mhm.
understanding. Like you have a relationship with your mama out of your fear. And that's another thing that really bothers me about Marie and why I feel like, they shouldn't show this to us because we can clearly see that this is actually doing more harm than good.
Well,
And
Carlos King, I
yes,
honestly look, it's like I don't really have much respect for him as a black producer, especially as a black producer, a part of the LGBTQ community. He's doing y'all he's disgracing and doing a disservice to that community. He is disgracing and doing a disservice to African American people. I am so fucking tired of these Carlos King shows that he's a part of, on and off of OWN, where he gets, in my opinion, the worst examples of black business people, of black love, of blackness, and then puts them on TV. Don't pay them hardly anything, which is why they acting like a fool to keep on TV, but giving himself the check. I'm just tired of him. Love and Marriage Detroit for me solidified being done with Carlos King, but then seeing this scene with Marie, you can't even be mad at Marie. because I feel like production was like, you need to
Made
give
her
more,
do it.
you need to give
Yeah, and
more.
that's
You brought this, you didn't give it. It just seems like Marie's doing what all the things you talked about in episode one, and she did this in season one with her mama, and then she acted a fool. We got Essie this episode. We got all sorts of shit that we haven't had, and it just felt forced and unnatural.
yeah. And
I'm
speaking of
sorry.
Essie, because y'all know I love me some Essie. I do.
You
Essie
do.
and Marie, Essie and Marie, y'all come on, stop playing. Allegedly, because I don't feel like hearing Marie right
They
now.
both like that short
Allegedly,
hair.
yeah, y'all come on now. Y'all make such a cute couple. Y'all will be so scrumptious and delicious. Y'all just come on out. Just come on out. It's all right, Marie. It's all right, Essie. It's I know you got a husband. We all know this. But y'all come on, stop playing with us. Like, come on and stop playing with
They
us.
got a
Y'all
husband.
know. Essie has a husband. Essie is married. Yeah. So
How old
yes.
is her? And she, they must have known.
Yeah, they known each other forever. And so, but that's her sister. I'm like, Marie, come on. Y'all have y'all chemistry because the way Essie showed her ass in season one, that ain't no sister. I know everyone's trying to relate Solange and Beyonce to Essie and Marie. That's two different things.
What? People just be
The
reaching,
the
reaching.
toxic thing, well, because the toxic people that don't like, the homosexual references or whatever was like, oh, that's her like her sister, and she will fight for her sister the same way Solange fought for Beyonce in that elevator. And I'm like, the difference between them two situations and these two women, them is actually blood sisters that grew up with each other in the same household. Them two that grew up nowhere in no same household. Get the hell out of here.
I'm at a
I
point
will give them
where
high school and that's it.
when you're at a grown age, a big age like we are at, when you get 25 plus, your friends, I don't trust people who be like, hey, sis, hey, bro. Me and my husband say this all the time. You have your sister is who you share blood with, or the child of somebody your mommy or mama or daddy married, an adoption, hell, adoptions. Hell, it could be your cousin that was raised with you real close. But your friends, people that did not grow up in the same house as you, that's not your sister fam. That ain't your family. That's not your brother. That's none of that. That don't make sense. That's what immature people say. People with bad intentions or motherfuckers who's fucking and don't want nobody to know. I said it. It's not my channel. I don't have to watch my mouth unless it's
There
related to
she
the
go,
law.
y'all. She can say whatever she wants to as long as she alleges the alleged. That's
Look,
all that matters.
this is what the
Anywho,
situation normally is. As for Marie and Essie, I don't know. I just was kind of looking at Essie like,
we
why,
all
where have you been?
yes. It's like I'm telling you, she stayed away because she's trying to dodge the rumors, but Marie knows she needed something, so they brought her back. Keep Essie. I want to see more of Essie and Marie's dynamic. I actually did bind it because I felt like I was looking at a couple, and I'm
It
always
was
going to feel that
made
way.
for better television going back because I finally finished all the previous seasons of Belle Collective. Be proud of me, all. Goddamn it, Thug Life. And I feel like Essie and Marie together meant less messiness from Marie with the other women because Marie really do just be like reaching in. Like she takes time. How do you have all these clinics and you have the time to meet up with someone from the previous cast, like looking into people and all that? Like you're the one on the show, whether no matter how I feel about her and her finger waves and her messy, evil ass, she's one of the few on the show who actually has legitimate businesses that are legitimately doing great things and helping African Americans and bringing light to mental health care in the African American community. So I really wish that she would lean in on that more instead of us having to see Tambra and fucking Aikisha trying to look like the fake bosses that they're not. Um, Look, Tambra, you a radio host. You do what I do on my song review, baby, except you do that shit 7 days a week, probably more than me. Then you have Aikisha. Everything you got from what we learned was inherited to you. So what did you really work for? So the only one on here who kind of worked for their businesses and did what they had to do on their own, I could say business related, and is running it properly, is Marie. Marie's also very careful not to have these bitches up in events for her censors and stuff.
I'm gonna actually throw Latrice in there as well because
Having
Latrice.
Selena come to her event was if you take your business seriously and you know that there's two people who you have a beef with, then I'm not going to invite one of those people. People would have understood if you did not invite So Gucci. I'm not saying she set it up, but if you
I
care
would
for
have
your
felt that way if they
business,
weren't on a TV show. I would have felt that way if we were on a TV show. I feel like her inviting Gucci was the production. I don't feel like, because I feel like she would have just invited Selena and not Gucci because she wasn't feeling Gucci at this moment.
that could
So,
be it too.
and I feel like she wouldn't have invited Aisha either. So that's why I feel like this is more so the show. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's continue along because I need to get, it's almost 1:30. So so Maria and Essie, that was just, them kind of catching up on and her disclosing the information about her mama. I don't really care. I was just happy to see Essie on my TV. Moving on, Gucci is throwing her birthday party, as she told Aikisha when they were in Aikisha's home and her and Marie were helping set up, that, JJ is throwing this party. JJ is a freak. I'm just gonna put that out there. JJ is crazy. I'm just gonna put that out there, allegedly. But looking at this show and looking at this party, it was a black tie affair party, and he was setting at the party. He said, "Cliff, Cliff is bisexual." So I was like, now, Cliff may be a lot of things, but bi in his persona is not him. JJ,
Well, Cliff
okay?
did stare at that ding dong. I have DVR. I have a DVR, and I watched that, and I was like, he's really, if you look, he was like, now, all I know is most straight men, and this is, I'm tired of the fucking gay community coming for people for speaking on what's true. Okay. I'm not speaking on what gay people would do, but I'm going to tell you this. I've dealt with a lot of straight men and I'm married to one. And most straight men, also brothers, would not look. As soon as they seen the stripper coming out, they would have either turned around, laughed, went outside, smoked a cigarette, or went got to drink something. Cliff, this was Cliff. Hold on. Let me get my drink. We'll use the candle. He didn't look back. He held that cup and he said, and anybody who don't believe me or what cup for me, listen, I'm sorry if you're too broke for a DVR. Go look, screenshot, do what you got to do. But I'm not telling you no lies. That man saw that stripper's man part come out and he said, Latrice wasn't even looking that hard. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, you stayed. That was a little odd. And then you acted angry.
Yeah, because we'll get to that in a minute. But everyone shows up for this event. Even Josh shows up, which was weird for me because why are you there?
Aikisha inviting her.
Aikisha, I understood why she was there. She actually didn't look bad. I actually didn't mind her outfit. It was okay.
Aikisha don't be looking bad. To me, she just
don't.
looking basic. Like, you're on TV, so I don't want you to look like me. I want you to take it a step there. That's all I'm saying.
She does. You know what she does give me? She gives me Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac. She does.
She
gives
is
me
Robin.
She gives me Robin. She really does. She gives me Robin.
She dresses well, but it's just like, okay.
I guess she knows how to pretty her pretty. Robin still needs a lot of work. Like Forrest Rock said on her YouTube channel, Robin looked like she worked with us. Like she really do. But moving forward, I didn't like Letitia's outfit. She looked stuffed in that. Marie did as well. I thought Marie looked crazy. I was like, "The hell?"
Marie usually dresses pretty well too.
I want her to stop wearing black. That's what it is. I want her to stop wearing black. I want her to wear color. I think if she wore some color, I know this was a black dress code event, but I want her to stop wearing black.
She's always in black. And your name is Marie Monroe. Where's the red?
Yes. Tamra looked crazy. I didn't know what the hell Tamra had on.
A sag eye that she has.
Right. And Latrice looked nice. I thought Latrice looked nice. So they in this event, and then, I didn't know what to think of the interactions because they were all weird. Everyone was just not speaking. Everyone was like kind of had their back towards each other.
Nobody likes So Gucci. I
It was
peeped that
like,
on this cast. I don't think anybody on the cast, like in real life, like likes So
you
Gucci.
think everybody's like just trying to
They're
get their check and
there
go home?
because it's for the check. I think it's for the check. I do appreciate that about this cast, though. Except for Tambra, they all seem to understand to stay in it, stay in the fight, and get your coin. I respect that for them. I do. Because a
Right.
lot of shows, people are like, I don't care. I'm leaving. Get the cameras off me. Unmic me. These women don't do that. So
Mm.
I do give them that, but I can guarantee you, I don't care. This is Amina's opinion, not the opinion of Watch Your Mouth Reviews. I do not think, okay, I would bet my last dollar. These bitches don't fuck with Shantae. Okay. They don't fuck with her. They don't. You can tell. They fuck with Shantae because half of these women, most of the group, are connected to JJ or knew him from when he was with Selena. Or they know JJ because they have daughters like Marie who dance in the dance teams, which is a huge thing in the South. Huge thing. Because for a lot of them, that dance is the only way out. That is what this is. These women don't give no fucks about So Gucci. That's why none of them are buying houses from her. None of them are none of them are kicking it with her. And all they can say when they talk about what happened with So Gucci is an outsider came in the group, an outsider.
That
Stop.
still pisses me off because it's like she's not an outsider. She made Jackson pop before y'all did. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna go there with them. Everybody, like y'all can
Yeah.
say what y'all want about Selena. Selena, I was familiar with her before the show, but
Mhm.
I knew she came off of a reality TV show. And the same thing with JJ. I knew he came from a reality TV show.
Yeah.
I never watched it, but I am familiar with it.
And on
So
that
moving on.
show, JJ was not ever involved until like literally the last few seasons. And then he was still, it was like barely.
Right.
So Selena even gave him relevance. Just
Mhm. but moving forward, Cliff's messy ass gets a hold of Glenn. What? Because Glenn at this point is working. You know, Glenn works on one of them
he has a real
riverboat
job.
oil. Yeah, huh?
He has a job outside of rap.
Glenn?
Yeah, I thought he was just an old ass
No,
rapper.
yeah, Glenn.
To
No,
go.
Glenn actually has a really good oil rig job. So he's on the
Oh.
boat. So he has a really good job. So he's gone,
Oh.
and that's why he wasn't at the party. So Cliff's messy ass got a hold of him and told him where the kind of environment. He didn't say Letitia was doing anything. He just said that she's in this kind of environment. And that sparks up this argument between Letitia and Glenn. And Glenn got the nerve to say, "You have my last name. You shouldn't even be at that party." And this and this and that. So let me explain something to you, because obviously this ain't in your head.
I
Y'all
told
are
my husband you would comment on that.
because because that's because you know me. Y'all are separated, sir. Y'all are separated. So you can't then come to her the same way she came to you when you was all up in women's DMs and stuff. You can't do the same thing, man. Y'all cannot do the same. Just because she has your last name, does she was married to you, and it costs too much to change it back to whatever the fuck your last name was before that. Go back to the maiden name. So
$237 for
yeah,
those.
ain't nobody gonna be spending that kind of money. I could just keep the name. I'm sorry. Like ain't nobody gonna be doing all that. So it bothered me to hear him go off on her like that
Mhm.
over something she did not know was going to happen. She didn't know stripper was going because JJ announced it in the middle of the party. It's not like the invitation said well, a stripper will be there.
Glenn
Impress your
was
own risk.
definitely wrong for going off on Letitia about that. I
Yeah,
didn't understand it. And then to try to swing your dick around, like, oh, as long as you have my last name, you're going to respect me. You're going to obey me. Nigga, please. I don't give a fuck. Be glad I took your last name. Let's start there. Because a lot of bitches will hyphenate or keep their shit, and it's a lot easier. Okay? Be glad that somebody was willing to pay money, then go down to the Social Security office, give them a merit certificate, then go to the DMV or whatever the fuck you call it in their state to get an ID after they get that, then deal with having to go to your job, okay, to deal with them trying to get your paycheck changed to your correct name, then deal with while you're waiting on all of that, having to wait. Yes, in case anybody, I took my husband's last name. That shit is a headache, okay? The shit that you have to go through to get the last name, that's why people keep their last name after they fucking divorce, because it's a lot. It's documentation, paperwork, social security cards, all of that. So it's like, just be grateful she took your last name. But the other side of this, I will say, Glenn don't have a right to say that. But then at the same time, Letitia's a tease. Stop acting like you with this man. She said he was supposed to be there with her at this event, that they were going to walk in together. He was going to be her plus one. And so I'm like, okay, you got your friend putting leases in her name and whatnot for you, but you still basically dealing with your dude. If you're going to divorce him, divorce him. If you're going to be separated. But you can't keep doing this back and forth thing.
I do agree. I think she is sending mixed signals. I
Yes.
do. I think she is sending mixed signals, and to me, that's not fair. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, I'm not going to take the responsibility that he's the cause of all of this.
No, he's
So
the
yeah,
cause. But it's
I
like if
so
you
it's
gotta
like
divorce him,
I
you got to divorce him because ain't nobody gonna be feeling sorry for you. When now we're what? What episode is this? We're 8 fucking episodes in. Y'all probably been having problems prior to this fucking airing. And every fucking episode, I'm tired of Letitia and Glenn. Are you gonna be together or are you not gonna be together? Because I'm over it. I don't care. I don't even feel bad about the shit no more. I don't care. I'm tired of it. What I will say that I thought was messy is JJ and So Gucci, your edges are showing again since you both like hair. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that JJ did this to be messy. I don't care what nobody says. I'm sure he's a freak because of his ex and JJ's a freak, we know. But ain't no grown straight man gonna call a stripper for his wife while he's there. Now, if he's out of town or something and like, I want my wife to have fun with the girls or something, and you send a stripper, fine. But for you to send the stripper with husbands there, family there, that was weird as fuck, one. And two, it just looked messy. So I think everybody might look at this whole stuff with Glenn, look at this whole stuff with Cliff, and forget who called the stripper, who he's married to, and why. And JJ gives bitch like energy, which to me seems like he knows nobody likes his wife. He knows his wife is not attractive. He knows that his ex also looked better than this one. And all of the bills, in my opinion, she looked like a grandma in a good wig. And I'm just going to keep it 100. I feel like he probably did that with a good heart, trying to defend his spouse and stuff. But you're not fooling anybody, JJ and Gucci. Like, and who's going to be that comfortable staring at a big mandingo around their husband? My husband knows I like strippers from time to time, but I'm not going to look at them while he's right there in the. That's weird. Like the
it
whole,
was weird. That whole birthday party was just strange as hell.
you couldn't have got
I
me a
was
diamond.
like, I would have left. I would have been like, okay, it's time for me to go because hell, it might turn to a game of Clue up in here. Ain't nobody finna be
Not
sitting
a
up here
game of
with
clue.
hell, shit, it might be tell. I don't know. They crazy. So, but that was pretty much it. This was a to be continued episode. We're gonna see Letitia go off on Cliff, and I cannot wait because somebody needs to do it. So I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, it's the right kind of go off. Anything else you want to add?
I'm tired of these bitches.
Right. All
Sorry.
right. So there we have it. So this was Belle Collective season 3, episode 8 review, you guys. I don't know how many episodes they're gonna have. I'm about sick of them.
The Carlos
But
King show, he doesn't understand numbers, so probably too many.
yes. So just to make sure everybody's aware, we have dropped Love and Marriage Detroit. I don't watch it anymore. I don't care. I do look at certain YouTubers. There's some more that have dropped it. It is a crazy ass show. I don't have the energy for it. So we will not be doing Love and Marriage Detroit. We will find something to fill its place. We will. But until then, we will not be dropping any episodes. We'll keep Belle Collective for own, but that's about it. So until the next review, guys, make sure you come back on my channel in about 5 minutes. We're going to do kind of like a news update since we recap. We'll be recapping Real Housewives of Potomac. I'll be doing it on my channel. I am going to talk about the most recent, gossip thing that has happened. So make sure you guys stay on my channel. Anything else you got?
I'll be
All
here.
right. We'll be here, guys. So catch us back. Give us about 5 minutes. We'll be back. See you guys.